This is a test that you would ideally want to attempt when you've covered the basic concepts of a topic. Once you attempt the test, watch this video to understand or get a perspective on how this paper could have been attempted, what would be a good analysis, the kind of time taken for each question, etc. And if you do like the process, the test and the video, there are more than 200 topic tests that are available on the Bodhee Prep on Android app, the link for which is in the description below. So please download the app and gauge your preparation as it goes along, right? Now, this test is on simple interest and compound interest. This is test 3, as mentioned in the app. In terms of level of difficulty, the test was about moderate level of difficulty. Number of good attempts would be net 6 correct. The attempt time for this test will be a little higher because there were questions based on where calculation was a bit high. So I think 23 to 26 minutes to attempt all the questions, out of which net score of 6 questions would happen. That would be a good attempt. Looking at the questions, question number 1 says, find the amount to be received after 2 years, 6 months at the rate of 5% per annum simple interest on a sum of 3,200. The amount. So we can calculate the simple interest. The simple interest will be principal into rate into time. 2 years, 6 months is 2.5 years upon 100. So this gets cancelled. 2.5 is 10 by 4. 4 8s are 32. And then 8 5s are 40, 400. Simple interest is 400. Therefore, the amount will be 3,200 plus 400 or 3,600 rupees. Again, pretty easy question. Just calculate the SI, add it to the principal to get the amount. Definitely something that should be attempted. The difference between CI and SI for 3 years is 992. The rate of interest is 10%, find the principal. Now, the difference between CI and SI for 3 years is given by 3 PR squared upon 100 squared plus PR cube upon 100 cube. Since the rate is mentioned, the difference is there. Like we can see 992 is equal to 3P. Now, R squared upon 100 squared, or R upon 100, in this case will be 10 upon 100, which is 1 by 10. So this becomes 1 upon 10. So 1 upon 10 squared. This becomes P into R by 100 is 1 upon 10. So 1 upon 10 cube. Or 992 becomes 3P upon 100 plus P upon 1000. Taking LCM, 992 becomes 300P, rather 30P, sorry, multiplied by 10. 30P upon 1000 plus P upon 1000. So 31P, 1000 cross multiply, 992 into 1000 is equal to 31P. 31P. From the options, it is evident that 31P has to divide 992 because 31 is not going to divide 1091, 31, 992. 3s are 93 minus 62, 2s are 62. So 31, 32s are 992, and therefore P is nothing but 32000. Find the principal, 32,000 rupees. Again, formula based, the calculation might be a little difficult. The formula is something that we have to know. And therefore, I'm saying moderate, about 2.5 minutes to solve a question. Could be looked at in the exam. The difference between the amount of compound interest and simple interest accrued on the amount of 26,000 at the end of 3 years is 2994.134. What is the rate of interest percent per annum? The difference for 3 years, CISI, is given by 3 PR squared upon 100 squared plus PR cube upon 100 cube. The difference is given as 2994.134. The principal is 26,000. 3 into 26,000 will be 78,000 R square upon 100 squared plus 26,000 R cube upon 100 cube. Now, if we go to solve for r, we will have to solve a quadratic, which obviously will be more difficult to solve. And therefore, what we can do is we can just try to get an approximate value. If we put r as 20%, so just checking the value of the right hand side, this will be 78,000 into r. If r is 20, r by 100 will be 1 by 5. 20 r by 100, 1 by 5. So this will become 78,000 upon 1 by 5 whole square. So 25 plus 26,000 upon 125. Actually, multiplying by 2 would have been easier. So let us redo this. Let the hundreds be. So this will be 20 into 20 or 400 upon 100 into 100. This would be 20 into 20 and 28,000 into 100 into 100 into 100. So 0, 0, 0, 0 cancel, 0, 0, 0, 0 cancel. Again, double zero, single zero, single zero, single zero, double zero cancel. So this becomes 4 into 780. 780 into 4 would come out to 3120. And then 26 into 8. 26 into 8 will be 16208. Therefore, the difference comes out to 3328. Clearly, the difference is quite a lot, and therefore the answer has to be 20 less than 20. So 17 or 19 are left. At this point, the only option that I can think of is multiplying or substituting 19 and checking the unit digit. If we put 19 here, right hand side will get 78,000 into 19 into 19 upon 100 into 100 plus 26,000 into 19 into 19 into 19 upon 100 into 100 into 100. 0, 0 cancel, this 0 and this 0 cancel. We will get a number here which has one digit after the decimal. Plus here we'll have 0, 0 cancel, 0, 0 cancel. So we'll have something, number which will have 3 digits after a decimal. As is there in the difference. The last digit of this difference will be 9 nines are 81. 81 into 9 is 9, 9 is 54. So the last digit of this product will be 4, which is given in the options, and therefore the likely answer is 19. Now solving this for me is a little difficult. I'm not comfortable solving a cube root, and therefore putting options and checking is for me the best approach. And therefore I get 19 as the answer. Again, in terms of level of difficulty or concept, the question is not very, or the concept is not very difficult. But because the numbers given, the calculation becomes very high, and therefore I'm saying a difficult question. If the simple interest on a certain sum for 8 months at 4% is 129 less than the simple interest on the same sum for 15 months at 5%. Okay, so in the second case, principal into rate into time. Now time is 15 by 12. So 15 by 12 into 100 minus, here we'll have principal into rate into time. Time is 8 by 12 into 100. The difference is 129. So we can write 5 15s are 75, 8 4s are 32. 75 minus 32 is equal to 43. So this becomes 43p upon 1200 is equal to 129. 43 3s are 129, so p becomes 3600. What is the sum? It is 3600 rupees. Again, simple application of SI, direct formula, difference and solve. So an easy question which should not take more than about maybe 90 to 120 seconds, and that is about it. Easy in terms of attempt. If a sum of rupees 24,000 is lent at 10% per annum, compound interest compounded annually for 5 years, what is the interest accumulated during the first 3 years? We just have to look for the 3 years. This 5 years is immaterial. Principal 24,000, rate 10%, and therefore we can say after 3 years the amount will be 24,000 into 1 plus 10 upon 100 cube, which is 24,000 into 1.331. 1 by 10, 11 by 10, 1.1 cube is 1.331, and therefore the compound interest will be amount minus principal, which will give us the compound interest as 24,000 into 0.331. Multiplying, we'll get the answer. Most likely answer will have a 4 in the end. But what I'm doing is I'm doing it 4 because 4 ones are 4. I'm doing it stepwise. 24,000 is the principal. In the first year, 10% of this will be 2,400. In the second year, 2,400 on the principal plus 240 on first year's interest. In the third year, 2,400 on the principal plus 240 on the first year's interest, 240 in the second year interest, therefore 480 plus 24 rupees on this. 1 by 10 is removing the last zero. And therefore overall interest will be 24, 24, 20, 7,200 plus 720 plus 24, which means 7,944. Option A becomes the answer. Again, direct application of the formula. You might call it moderate because there is calculation involved. Otherwise, not more than a 2-minute question could be attempted in the exam. In an investment plan, if a certain sum of money is invested R% per annum SI, it becomes K times in 3 years. So R and K are natural numbers, and 3 is less than equal to less than equal to 16. Mr. Mangal invested 12340 at R% per annum compounded annually for 3 years. Find the number of possible values of K and the maximum amount that Mr. Mangal can realize. So let us look at the first part. We invest principal P, it becomes K times, therefore K into P. We can say simple interest will be amount minus principal. Taking P common becomes K minus 1 times of P. If we write the formula, simple interest is equal to principal into rate R into time 30 upon 100. If principal become K times, the simple interest will be K minus 1 times of the principal. 100 rupees becoming 300 means a simple interest of 200 rupees. Then putting the formula, simple interest is equal to principal into rate into time upon 100. So if we cancel out the P here, 0, 0 cancel, we can say 10K minus 10 cross multiply is equal to 3R, which means K is equal to 3R plus 10 upon 10, or K is equal to 3R upon 10 plus 1. Now, since K has to be has to lie between 3 and 16 and has to be a natural number, we start putting values of R for which this will be natural. Clearly, R has to be a multiple of 10 so that 10 cancels out. When R is equal to 10, K will be 10 upon 10, 1. So 3 plus 1, 4. This is a valid solution. When R is equal to 20, we will get 3 into 20 by 10 plus 1. So 6 plus 1, which will be 7. When R is equal to 30, we will get 3 into 3, 9 plus 1, which is K will be equal to 10. So every time R increases by 10, K increases by 3. So when R is equal to 40, K will be 13. When R is equal to 50, K will be 16. Beyond this, K will cross 16, so not possible. Therefore, how many values of K are there? 5 values of K are possible. So either option B or option A or option C become the answer. At this value, R is 50%. It says if 12340 is invested at R% for 3 years compound annually, what is the maximum money that can be realized? So maximum money will be realized when R is the highest. We take R as 50%, and therefore amount that Mr. Manilal can get will be principal into 1 plus R upon 100 raised to power 3 time. So 12340, 50 upon 100 will be 1 by 2, 1 plus 1 by 2 is 3 by 2. So into 3 by 2 cube, which becomes 12340, 12340 into 27 by 8. We can divide this by 4. 4 threes are 12. 4 zeros are 0. 4 eights are 32. 3085. 3085 then has to be multiplied by 27, which will give us 3085 into 27, 30 minus 3. 3085 into 30 minus 3 is what I'm doing. 3 5 15, 5 1 9, so 20, sorry, 24 25, 5 2 3 9. 3085 into 92550 minus 9255, 92550 minus 9255. This becomes 95. This becomes 295. 8329. So 3085 into 27 is 83295 upon 2, which will be 4. 32 is 16. 95 will be 47.5. 41647.5. So option A becomes the answer. Again, in terms of concept, also, I think this is a question which is on the higher level of difficulty because we have to look at number of solutions for a linear equation, which in itself can be taxing, and then we have to calculate the compound interest as well. Though the calculation time may not be high, if you are able to get this part, the calculation time will not be high. But in this question, I am saying this is a question which is difficult in terms of concept rather than calculation. A person invested a total amount of rupees 15 lakh. A part of it was invested in fixed deposit at 6% annual interest. The remaining amount was invested in two other deposits in the ratio 2:1, earning annual interest as 4%, 3% respectively. Total annual income is 76,000 interest. Then amount in lakhs invested in fixed deposit is. The point that should be remembered here is when we talk of principal, it is lakhs. When we talk of income, it is 76,000. So we'll have to make an adjustment for this. I am assuming the three rates that we have are 6%, 4%, and 3%. Between these two, the amount is in the ratio 2:1. So I'm saying let this be 2x, let this be x. And therefore, out of the total investment, 2x and x is gone. So 3x is gone. Therefore, in FDs, 15 minus 3x would have been invested. We are taking x in, or I am taking x in lakh rupees. So the interest also has to be expressed in lakhs. So we can say 6% of 15 minus 3x plus 4% of 2x plus 3% of x will be the annual interest income. This is given as 76,000. So we convert it into lakh because we are taking the principal in lakh. This becomes 0.76 lakhs. So this becomes 6 by 100 into 15 minus 3x plus 4 by 100 into 2x plus 3 by 100 into x is equal to 0.76 multiplied by 100. 6 5s are 90 minus 18x plus 8x plus 3x is equal to 76 minus 18 plus 11 minus 7. 14 is equal to 7x. X is equal to 2. What is the amount in lakhs invested in fixed deposit? Fixed deposit has had 15 minus 3x or 15 minus 3 into 2. We already had taken x in lakhs, so 15 minus 6 or 9 lakh rupees was invested in fixed deposit. An easy to moderate sort of a question. There are three parts, but if we start from the right end, solving the question is not difficult, just one equation and solve. The only problem is there could be a confusion when we look at lakhs and thousands. So there is a chance that we might end up using the wrong zeros and therefore a problem happens while solving. Akhil took a loan of rupees 10,000 from Bharat at a simple interest of 10% per annum. Three persons, Pasha, Kadir, and Robert, approached him for a loan, offering to pay 7, 8, and 12% simple interest per annum, respectively. If Akhil lent the money in such a way that he will make a profit of 1%, he has to pay 10%. He's making a profit of 1%, so he'll be earning 11%. On the borrowed sum per year, what is the maximum sum that he might have lent to Robert? Suppose the money lent to Pasha, Kadir, and Robert is PQR respectively. We can say that P plus Q plus R will be the amount of money that he had, 10,000 rupees from Bharat. The interest on this will be 7% of P plus 8% of Q plus 12% of R. this will be the overall interest that that Mr. Akhil gets. Mr. Akhil has to pay 10%, has a profit of 1%. So he will get net 11% of 10,000. Now in the second equation, cancelling percents and off, we get 7p plus 8q plus 12r is equal to 11,000. Actually not 11,000, but 1,10,000. 1, 2, 3, 4. I write this equation again, multiplying this by 7. The first equation I'm multiplying by 7. 7p plus 7q plus 7r is equal to 70,000. If we subtract these two equations, equation 1, equation 2, 1 minus 2, we will get pp cancel. This is 7q not r. Q plus 5r is equal to 40,000. The question said, what is the maximum that can be lent to r? To maximize r, we can minimize x and make it 0, in which case 5r will be 40,000 or r will be 40 by 5, 8,000 rupees. So the maximum money that can be lent to Robert is 8,000 rupees to get 11% interest rate. Again, I would call this question a difficult question because equations would have been made and there, you have to maximize one value. Always a chance of getting lost in the numbers. Therefore, a difficult question. Can we look at whether you should attempt this or not in the exam? But there can also be another approach to this question. See, there are three interest rates, 7%, 8%, and 12%. We want to maximize this. So what we do is, if we want to maximize the maximum rate, we would give the rest of the interest or money to the 7%, the lowest rate, so that and completely eliminate this. If we give the maximum possible amount to 7%, we will by default will have to give the maximum possible amount to 12% so that the overall rate is 11%. Now from 7 and 12, if you want to get 11, the ratio is 4:1. 10,000 split in the ratio 4:1 will be 2,000 and 8,000. The maximum amount that can be given to 12,000 is 8,000 rupees. Any money that goes from 7% to 8% would mean the amount given to 12% can also be reduced. Hence, the maximum money is 8,000 rupees. This approach makes the question a lot easier, but again, does not strike every time in the exam. In the exam, we tend to go with the equations, and therefore, I'm saying a difficult question. Ravi took a loan on a certain amount at a simple interest at 4% per month. Rahul took a loan for the same amount at simple interest 12% per annum. If the difference in interest they paid is 18,000, what is the loan? Now Ravi will have to pay 4% per month. Therefore, simple interest. Therefore, his yearly rate will be 4 into 12, which is 48% per annum. This is for Ravi. For Rahul, the rate is given as 12% per annum. Therefore, the interest that they have to pay on P principal will be 48% of P, and for Rahul, it will be 12% of P. So we can say that the difference will be 48% of P minus 12% of P, and this is given as 1,80,000, not 18,000. So this becomes 36%. 48 minus 12 of P is equal to 180,000. 36 5s are 180, and therefore P will be 5,000,000, which means 5 lakh rupees. Option C becomes the answer. Straightforward question, easy. Just multiply 12 into 4, subtract from it, and then take the percentage. Should not take more than 90 seconds to solve. Krishna borrowed 42,000 at 10% per annum under CI, interest being compounded annually. If he has to repay this in 2 equal installments, 42,000, 10% CI. So at the start of time, 42,000 has been borrowed. X% will be returned back after 1 year, X after 2 years. These are the installments. We can calculate the value of these two installments at the starting of the time and equate this. So 42,000 should be equal to X upon 1 plus R upon 100. The value of the first installment at the start of time or the start of the repayment plus X upon 1 plus 10 upon 100 whole square. The value of the second installment at the beginning of the period. So 42,000 is equal to X upon 1.1 plus X upon 1.21, 1.1 square. This is 42,000 1.1x plus x upon 1.21, taking the LCM, and therefore 2.1x is equal to 42,000 into 1.21. Therefore, x is nothing but 42,000 into 1.21 upon 2.1. Adjusting for the decimals, you can write 42,000 into 121 upon 210. 210 will cancel this out by 2. Therefore, 242. Sorry, 242, not 422. 24200. This becomes the value of x, or the installment that has to be paid at the end of the year. Again, this is a direct formula that we can put, and also the numbers are not very difficult since the rate is 10%. So 1.1 is not very difficult to manage. So I'm saying easy to moderate in terms of level of difficulty. Now, in terms of overall level of difficulty, if you look at the test, as I, as I said at the start of the test, overall level of difficulty moderate because there were some questions which are outright difficult to solve. And also because of some calculations, the overall time goes up to 23 to 26 minutes. The 6 questions that we were looking to solve in this set for me would be 1, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10. Just to have a look at them. I have definitely attempted this direct formula. Again, calculation might have been a problem. Definitely calculation problems are leaving it. This I would have attempted simple interest formula. This I would have attempted because I just have to calculate CI for 3 years. This was, I think, a difficult question unless you're able to solve a number of solutions for a linear equation. This should have been done simple interest direct formula. Here there could have been a problem if we are not able to understand how to maximize one part. This certainly should have been done difference and equate. And then this question could have been done because the numbers were easy. Just put in the formula and solve. Therefore, for me, the 6 questions to be attempted would be 1, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10.